But they don't know behind these violent games are real men that hurt, that have feelings, that deal, you figure you're a football player, you ought to be that, right? But y'all are men with y'all family men, y'all got kids and stuff. How do you make it without a father? And I said, wow, that's gotta be a difficult thing for a young man to make it in this world without a father. Because, look, man, a boy without a father is like an explorer without a map. You don't know how to get there. Manhood can only be taught by men. So that was the birth of my foundation right there. I said, man, so I had a ranch in Dallas. I said, man, I'm gonna start bringing boys in there to teach them about how to make your dreams come true and how to be a man. Because if you got a single mother, God bless them. And there's some wonderful mothers out there. But your mother can make you a good citizen, a good student, a God-fearing man, a law-abiding citizen. She can make you courteous. She can make you well-kept and groomed. She can't make you no man, though. Mm-hmm. She cannot do it. And I only cover two things: principles of manhood and dream building. How to be the best man you could be and how to make your dreams come true. Because that's the key. I gotta go back to my mama being a Sunday school teacher, right? There's a scripture that says, a man without a dream or vision shall perish. You got to always have something you shooting for or what you getting up for. So you can't lose your motivation. That's why when a lot of people retire, they just wither and die, because their reason to get up and go live has been taken away. They thought retirement, but they had purpose. See, you gotta always have purpose. I tell young people this all the time, man. It's hard to make money, man. And it's hard to make a lot of money. And it take a long time to make a lot of money. But if you think it's hard to make money, it's way harder to keep it and to add to it. I equate it to doing 100 push-ups, but the average person can't do 100 push-ups in a row. I bet you it'll be every 2,000, 5,000, 10,000 people you can find do 100 in a row. Probably more than that. But let's say that you manage somehow to get to 70 and every fiber in your body is shaking and quivering. And you get to 80 and your teeth has got hairline fractures in it. The veins is bulging out your head. And then you get to 90 push-ups and you peeing on yourself. People are talking to you, you can't even communicate. And somehow, by the grace of God, you get 100 push-ups in. You are now successful. Now guess what? To stay successful, guess what you gotta do? You got to hold. You got to lock and hold. And after 100, that locking and holding is hard, because you done burned everything up getting there. Yeah. Now you got to hold, but that's the only way. You got to lock and hold. And you got to stay there, man, because at that point, by the time you get here, you got so many people counting on you. Yeah. And like, you all heads of families. What happened if you stop doing what you do? Have you counted the people that will crumble and suffer if you stop doing what you do? Oh, yeah. You can start with all them people that bought all these cameras, that drove all these trucks. They got to go find something else to do. That's starters. Then they family got to get the news. I ain't working no more with Pivot. They got to start thinking of something else. You ain't even said nothing about what you do for your parents, what you do for your wife's people, because you helping everybody. Because everybody think you it. Yep. And heavy is the head that wears the crown. The cold thing about the crown is you don't get to take it off. You don't even get to lay down with it. That's why you toss and turn at night, because that crown cutting in your head. Somebody told me one time, they said, man, Steve, seems like everything you touch turned to gold. No, I just don't touch everything. I only touch what's brand worthy and what's on brand. Look, man, I was homeless, right? I lived in a car, everybody know that. But somebody asked me one time, they said, hey man, why you spend so much money on your cars? Because I have like really nice cars. I said, well,
that's all.
Cause if this ever goes bad, I'm gonna be living in a Rolls Royce. It got refrigerator in it, TV, computer, icebox, got heated seats.
Everything.
You know, I'm gonna be a lot more comfortable.
Right.
Now, in essence, really, I'm gonna sell that car and buy a house, in essence. But I've been running from poverty for so long because I was in it for so long. I guess I'm kind of afraid of, you know, it going bad. And I just can't stand the fact that some one person can come up to me, because I've been laid off before. At General Electric, they came and gave me a layoff slip right at Thanksgiving. And then they let me have a 20-pound turkey. And I had to go home and tell my wife and twins, I got a 20-pound turkey and I ain't got no job. That's the last time I had one job.
That's nasty.
So like, if Family Feud come to me and say, you ain't got no more job, I just go do the judge show. If the judge show come to me and say, you ain't got no more job, then I just go do the radio show. If the radio show say, you ain't got no more job, then I'm gonna go overseas. Cause I got some more jobs. Ain't no one person finna take me out. I have to constantly think of what's the next move, you know, because change is inevitable. You got two things you can do with change. You can participate in it, or you can react to it. If you react to it, you're gonna be late. So since the change is coming, you might as well participate. In order to get to it, you got to go through it. And it's the going through part that people don't want to deal with.
Yeah.
You know, I look back on everything that's happened to me, and was it worth it? Yeah, because I get to be here now. But for people who are stuck, like you ain't gotta be you're homeless to be having it hard. You could be in a full-blown relationship with somebody and be having it hard. You know, man, you can have a nice house and have it hard because you don't know. I try to say to people, it's not where you at, it's where you going. And you can't lose sight of where you going. Cause today is temporary. If it all goes right, today will be called yesterday.
Right.
And if it all goes really right, tomorrow gonna be today. And so if you can understand that it can change for you tomorrow, it'll give you the fortitude to hang in there today. Because all you got to do is wake up. See, when you wake up in the morning, man, that's God sending a clear signal to you that he ain't through with you yet, that he still got more for you to receive. And that's how I look at it. So when I was in that car homeless, I hated it, but I knew God was showing me something. But after about, I'm gonna tell you real, man, after about a month, I told God, I said, okay, man, I got it. You know who Deion Sanders told me one time, man, we was talking. He said, Steve, everybody got a turn back moment. Everybody got a moment in their life where they turn back. You get to choose now. Because turning back is the simplest way to go about it sometimes. It's easy to turn back. It ain't hard no more. But that's kind of crazy. Some dude asked me the other day, he said, one of my partners, we was talking, he said, Steve, why you always take the hardest road, man? You always go the hard, why you always pick the hardest road? I said, hey man, what make you think I see two roads? I just know that way.
Right.
That's the way. And the way is hard. That's the way. See, all is hard, homie. You just gotta pick your hard. It's hard to go to the gym and get in shape like y'all. But it's hard to be a fat motherfucker too now. Shit.
It ain't hard.
Yeah, that's hard. You walk your ass back up that hill. It's hard.
Yeah.
You'd have been better off going to the gym. Yeah, it's hard to open up a business. It's hard to start a company. Yeah, but ain't it hard to go to a job you hate and get underpaid? That ain't hard. Yeah. It's hard to buy a big house. I know that. That's hard. Ain't it hard living in a tiny house, though? See, the problem with people is they get something that work and then they want to find something that work better. You ain't got to fix it if it ain't broken. And hate and jealousy is a form of grief. You're grieving because obviously all them people you talking about have something you either want or are something that you ain't. And you're grieving. The daughters is different. Because as their father, I'm their protector. I'm their example of what love looks like towards their mother. So how I treat their mother is very important because they're looking at it and they see it. So that's why I always try to be a great example for them for that. Every boy that has ever come through that door to date any of the 4 daughters, they've all heard the same speech. Hey man, listen to me. This could last, this might not last. Y'all can break up, y'all can quit talking, you can ghost her, you can stop texting. But if you put your hand on her, I will find you. And I am going to do some things to you that's going to be ungodly. Because if you beat this daughter of mine, who I've never beaten, I've never struck one of my daughters, you can't do that either. Because if you do, and I hear about it, there ain't no more words. I'm gonna find you. And I have income, disposable income, dedicated. I thought about this, man. As much money as they pay you to play sports, as much money as they pay me to be on TV, they're not paying you more money than they're making. Because that's not a good business model. This is the quote that I learned that helped me with my father's death, and I couldn't understand why it was beating me up so bad. When a man's father dies, he realizes that the one man who truly wanted him to be better than him is gone. Your father is the only man that has ever wanted you to be better than him. There ain't another man living wants you to be better than him. Probably the biggest moment for me was that moment I had described to you, man, while I was finna call my father and give up. That moment of almost giving up, that was such a valuable lesson that I had taken myself almost to extinction. I had taken myself to where I had had enough. I was up to here, I couldn't do no more, I couldn't take no more, man. I ain't got no more, which was another crazy thing about my father. You know what my father told me, man? He said, son, I used to work construction with him, and I said, Dad, I'm tired. He said, we're gonna do this here. He said, man, just keep going, boy. I said, Dad, I'm tired, just keep going. I said, but Dad, I'm out, man. I can't do no more. He said, son, listen to me. When you've done all you can and you can't do no more, do some more. And that instilled in me that there's always a little bit more. So the moment, man, that I was finna give up and call my father, and I got that call on the answering machine, it restored my faith that God is with you, even when you don't feel him or see him or you don't think. God is with you at your darkest moment, and he's never late. It might take a while, but God ain't ever been late. And he's a right on time God. And that was the biggest pivot in my darkest moment when I was about to give up. That light called Christ, God Almighty, never failed me yet, showed up, man, and just boom. And that launched all of this that is me today.